Hey guys, just wanted to quickly say what the Lord's been highlighting to me today is in Isaiah 65. He's talking to Israel, and this whole time Isaiah, if you know, he's the prophet that's proclaiming the birth of Christ. In Isaiah 65, he tells Israel, he says, "I've given you the desire. I've been found of you who didn't even seek me." And what God's been showing me is, as a believer, as a human, if I'm not being a good steward of the desire he gave me, it'll grow colder and colder and colder. So step back with me one more chapter, Isaiah 64. It's where I get my mission statement, which is to preach the gospel and make disciples and be a mouthpiece to the nations in the urban centers of United States for one great awakening before Christ returns. Isaiah 64, it talks about how he's praying so hard. Isaiah is praying for Israel. He says, "Oh Lord, why don't you just come down and show us you? Show us you. Show us you," like he did in Noah. And the verse that really sticks out to me is verse 4. And the last part of verse 4, he says, and this is one that I will surely act in behalf of, the one who waits for me. So I'm encouraging you, whether you're a Christian or not, right now, don't go on your feelings, but do go on the little bit of faith that he may give you and wait on him. Get alone with the word. Ask him to speak to you. Because it goes on to say that Isaiah, as he was praying, he's like, "Our righteousness is terrible. Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us." And that's my prayer for me and for of course, my country and the church as a whole. And then I look at Isaiah 66, and all this is talking about Christ, because if it's not pointing to him, it won't matter. But Isaiah 66, 1 and 2, he's talking about all these people trying to do these things, these nice deeds, perhaps build a house for the Lord. But see, the Lord inhabits you. Our Christianity is the only religion where the living God, the God, comes inside and lives in you. This is what he says to him in Isaiah 66, 1. He says, "My throne is the heavens, the earth is my footstool. Whatever you give to me," and I'm paraphrasing, whatever you make for me, I've given you the resources to even build. Why can't you build for me where I can live? And this is what he says in Isaiah 66, 2. "But this is the one I look to, the one who is humble, contrite," which means you just know who you are inside of him. At the end of the day, Jesus is all we have. He looks to the one who is humble and contrite and trembles at his word. Go be with him today. And if you really have been a bad steward of the desire God gave you to seek him, you can always just have that relived by just walking out on faith. Because see, a lot of people, I like to think of it as someone just fresh out of jail. They come out of jail, they may still have that orange shirt on, but they're free. They may not feel free, but as they take their orange shirt off, as they put their street clothes on and just walk it out one step at a time, they get a job, they get a place to stay, and they get back on their feet. Your place to stay right now is having the living God inside of you. Keep walking it out. He who the Son sets free is free indeed. So ask him to help you be a good steward of that desire that he put in you and me to find him. And don't you ever think that he's ever forgotten you, because I feel very awkward doing these right next to my boys, the chicken coop. I'm just a dude out here wanting to tell you that the Lord loves you, and he's definitely not done with you. You don't make your heart beat, he does. So make the next beat it makes go in rhythm with what he wants you to do. Just walk it out by faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. But he who comes to God must believe that he is God, and he's a rewarder of them who diligently seek him. He's for you. He's for you. Just go to him right now. Come home. Keep your head up, heart in God's hands at all times.